Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
Hi, and good Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to catch our drift. Joining me in studio, Ipsy Edge Bonderenka.
And it is a good Saturday afternoon. The rain has stopped. The sun is out. Yes.
Michigan's playing Michigan State.
Yeah.
Can't do better than that, right, Derek? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm going to be there tonight in the press box.
Are you? I'm thinking about joining my buddies Pat and Joe and Paul down on the golf course for a couple of beers maybe after the show. So maybe we'll get down there and check it out. But I don't know. I'm feeling a little lazy at this point. So I don't know that I want to go search for a place to park and do all that stuff and then walk a couple miles to get to the...
If you see me on Belleville Lake, wave.
Yeah, well, I might just do that too because it is a nice day. And I got to get the boat prepped to come out of the water, you know. So
Where?
Where
would you do that?
On the lake.
No, where would you get it prepped?
Oh, that would... Not the sponsor this half hour, but
sorry.
nice segue.
Okay, sorry.
Nice segue.
The news you need to know. Oh, did I come in wrong then, too?
Yeah, I think you did.
All right.
Anyways, all right, well, let's take care of a little business. J&M Landscaping Tree Division. Winter is coming, snow is coming, and it's time to get those trees and branches down. So make sure you do it before the snow and ice hits. 248-640-7029. 248-640-7029. Call Jason. There's a 20% off first-time customer discount coupon in the Current. Ooh. So check it out. You can go to currentonline.com, COURANT online.com, and check out all the ads for our advertisers. And then you can always go to J_M_landscaping at yahoo.com and just email Jason. And he'll come out and give you a free estimate of what it takes to remove a tree. Did a great job. Took a giant tree down in my backyard 18 months ago, 2 years ago now. And did a fabulous job. So,
you need to be in control. You need to say when the branches come down, not Mother Nature.
Yes, because you know what? The insurance company won't come out and do it ahead of time. You would think they would look at a tree and say, yeah, that better come down before it breaks your house up. But they don't forward think like that. That's why they lose money. Anyways, do they lose money?
No, they don't lose money.
Don't.
They raise the rates.
We're getting jacked all the time by those professional house gamblers. That's what they are, right? Okay, so I wanted to start out because we got, allegedly, Congressman Walberg calling in at the 1:30-ish hour, so hopefully we'll get his monthly update. It's the first Saturday of the month. Yep. October already. Where does time go?
Behind us. It always goes behind us.
I know, it does. It does. Well, we're going to start out with the Vegas shooting, because that happened the day after our show, last week. And Gary,
but we didn't have anything to do with that. I mean,
you had nothing.
Causality or anything.
I was not in Vegas. I did not fly to Vegas. I had nothing to do with it. But I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. You were already saying you were going to shape me a tinfoil hat because, once again, people are saying, "Oh, it's a single shooter. He's just psychotic." Blah blah blah. I think there's more to the story than that. And one of the first things that struck me was why two windows broken out on either end of the suite that Mr. Paddock had on the 32nd floor.
Both facing the same direction.
Yes. And, it struck me, and I'm like, no biggie. But I want to start out with Sheriff Lombardi, who is Lombardo. Sorry, Mr.
I'll remember it either way. Go ahead. I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, Derek, you got that track ready. This is kind of a long track, but I want you to listen to, because he's very good, number one. But he's going to give us the timeline, because a lot of people don't understand the timeline and what happened. This was a very quick event from the violence standpoint of it. Derek, you got it? Let's play this.
So at 10:05, the first shots fired by the suspect. This was seen on closed-circuit television from the concert venue. 10:12, first two officers arrived on the 31st floor and announced that gunfire is coming from directly above them. 10:15, the last shots are fired from the suspect per body-worn camera. So if you're looking at the math, 10 minutes. 10:17, the first two officers arrive on the 32nd floor. 10:18, security officer tells the LVMPD officers he was shot and gives the exact location of the suspect's room. Now you notice a minute delta there. Before they broadcasted it, obviously they were in a conversation with the security guard immediately upon them exiting the elevators. Between 10:26 and 10:30, 8 additional officers arrived on the 32nd floor and began to move systematically down the hallway, clearing each room and looking for any injured people. They moved this way because no longer hear the gunfire of the active shooter situation. 10:55, 8 officers arrived in the stairwell at the opposite end of the hallway nearest the suspect's room. So when I say nearest the suspect's room, you can imagine the doorway of the hotel room. This stairwell and this door access is approximately 2 to 3 feet away. 11:20, the first breach was set off and officers entered the suspect's room. They observed the suspect down on the ground and also saw a second door that could not be accessed from their position. So it's a suite, and you have a main area of the suite, which is a living room, kitchen, dinette area, and then on opposite ends of that is 2 bedrooms. I'm sorry, where did I leave off? Somebody yell it out.
I know how that feels.
Yes.
Okay, so if you do the math on that, all the way up to 11:20 from 10:05, we're looking at 75 minutes. So the young lady here in the front with the red phone, you had mentioned 72 minutes, so now you see where those minutes came from. Okay? At 11:27, the second breach was set off, allowing officers to access the second room, and no one else was located within the hotel room. Okay, these are following extenuating circumstances as to why it may appeared that there was some delay or undue delay in reaching the suspects.
Stop. Okay. Play that last 5 seconds again.
In extenuating circumstances as to why it may appeared that there was some delay or undue delay in reaching the suspects.
Play the last 2 seconds to 3 seconds again. You can't get it. Okay.
The suspects.
Suspects.
Yes.
Okay? Suspects. So, you go back to the beginning. Why 2 broken windows in the suite? Why, when they breached the first time, found the body where he was shooting from, they could not access the other part of the suite? Door locked? They couldn't access it. So they wanted to breach it from a secondary. I don't know if there is a secondary door. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 2 broken windows were in the same part of the suite, the living room, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
Part of our problem is we don't know, and we only know what we're told. Yes. There's where the foil hat comes in.
Yes, and I can completely understand if the feds don't want to say anything about a second shooter because, you know what, maybe the second shooter or whoever's behind it, they don't want them to know that we know. Mm-hmm. You know, my question would be, where was the security guard, the hotel security guard who responded shot? Was he shot through the same door of the same room where Stephen Paddock was? Or was he shot in the hallway? Where was he? I'm just asking questions. You know what I mean? I don't know why there's 2 windows broken. I don't know why he would say, Sheriff Lombardo is a professional. He said suspects quite clearly. Mm-hmm. And it's enough to make me think. Now, Lombardo's been giving other kind of insinuations along the way with many of his press conferences. In the same press conference, he's talking about this guy spending decade prepping and buying guns. Well, most of the guns were bought in the last 12 months, I think. So when he says decades, he probably bought his first gun years ago. Who knows what he was? And was the man obviously unbalanced in some I completely agree. The man is a psychotic. Anyone that's going to turn on their own people and shoot like that makes them a psychotic.
Or a Democrat. Democrats have been turning on fellow citizens since Fort Sumter.
Yes. And, and it's funny. There was a tweet the other day that someone put out, and it had a list of all the shooters, and they were all Democrats. And I kind of thought to myself, ooh, isn't that kind of ugly?
That's why I responded with the Fort Sumter comment.
Yeah. So it's very strange. If you've got some, question me, call me a wacko, tell me to put my tinfoil hat away, whatever you want. I think my spider senses are tingling. I've got, and then they talk about ISIS. ISIS has got a pretty good record of when they claim somebody, it is theirs, right? Because they have not been out there just claiming everybody, is one of their people. When they claim, normally, I think Rush has covered it, I think Bill Bennett's covered it, I think a lot of people have covered it, that when ISIS makes the claim, they're normally correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? We got a call from Joe in Wyandotte. Joe, welcome to the show.
I see where you're going with that. Well, number one, the second window was in one of the bedrooms of the two-bedroom suite.
Okay, so stop. Hold on. Stop. Okay, so you just said the second window was in one of the bedrooms, not in the suite part. Is that what you just said?
That's what I just said.
Okay, and when the cops entered, they could not access that other room. They had to breach it from another way. So, what's that? That kind of lends credence to me, Joe, is the way I'm looking at it. Who was in the other room? Was the person in the other room that shot Stephen Paddock? Maybe he didn't self-administer his own death. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody shot him to keep him quiet and cover the tracks. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know I got my conspiracy head on.
Well, I'm just curious. Are you sure about that second window being in another room? Because I can't follow half of what anything's going on with much accuracy here. I hear all kinds of conflicting stuff. One thing I heard was that in Paddock's room, his section, there wasn't enough brass on the floor.
I'd heard that too.
To suggest that he had fired that many shots down into the crowd. And they didn't go out the window because that's not the way you shoot out a window. You poke the barrel and the forestock out the window. You don't put the whole pistol grip out the window.
Well, there's two things. Now, let's finish up this one. So the second suspect, the way you're reading it, shot Stephen Paddock, then went back and locked himself in the room and beamed out before the police breached it.
Now, why would you say that? I don't know that when you leave a hotel room, the door locks behind you. They didn't say it was barricaded. They breached it like they would in any SWAT situation, I'm assuming. But I'm merely asking the point. Did the second guy shoot Stephen Paddock as he was leaving, shoot the security guard? I would like someone to... I would like to see the security guard... No. We haven't heard his view yet, have we? Have you?
Well, he's obviously in on the conspiracy if the police don't know there was a second shooter for sure.
If there is, they would tell him not to say anything. But we have not seen any interviews with him, have we?
But my main reason I called was your use of the word suspects, which was the sheriff's word. It's as in apostrophe S, as in the possessive, as in his room, not as in the plural.
No. Derek, if we get a chance, let's play that again, because I looked at that, Joe, because a couple minutes later he talks about suspect's room with the apostrophe. The apostrophe's got nothing to do with that first statement when he says suspects. 5 seconds later, he mentions suspects, meaning ownership of the room. But we'll get Derek to play it again.
But now, I don't deny that he may have had some sort of accomplice, but that's a far stretch and cry from there is a second shooter conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I have no idea. I can't prove it. All I'm saying is my spider senses are tingling. There's something very odd about this. And according to Sheriff Lombardo, the note was not a suicide note. Okay, that's online. You can read it.
And
we heard something
there may
about
have been
numbers, a list of numbers. That this may be the piece of paper, some cryptic list of numbers. He was gambling. Who knows? Maybe those were roulette numbers he was going to play.
The lotto. He's going to play the lotto.
That's right. He was getting ready to play the lotto too. Yeah, I don't know, Joe. I'm not saying that there definitely was a second shooter. All I'm saying is,
well, wait. It
something
might not,
seems odd.
Second suspect is not the same as second shooter.
Yeah,
there may have been only one shooter. It may not have been Paddock if you want to go down this route.
Yeah, exactly. All I'm saying is having the two windows, and when they breach the room and he's dead already, and the other room they have to breach because they couldn't access it from the suite, tells me why if he's a single guy would he lock a door to one of the bedrooms that's got a broken window in it?
Thank God you're not gone into the fifth floor magic bullet shooter who shot magic bullets that went through the glass without leaving any holes.
And we're glad you're not bringing it up either. Thank you for not bringing it up. Appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah, I'm just saying, two broken windows, two separate parts of the suite, and when they had to breach the second room, right? Why would Stephen Paddock lock himself from the other room? Why would he take the time?
Well, what I want to know is if he set up a video surveillance of the hallway and of the door.